He might appreciate that. I mean, assuming there is somebody.
Might be Christopher Matthew because he did give us a question.
He did. I already put it in the show notes, so.
All right, we should be live any second. There we go. We're live. Date's right, show's right. Good.
Hey, we're on top of that. Hey, there we are.
Really? I can't type.
That's okay. I have days like that.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Just
okay.
one.
Just one. All right.
Are we picking up audio? That's the question.
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me see.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Cool.
Oh.
Let's start this thing.
Alrighty.
Intro.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started.
Medic!
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of our 2025 journey. It is episode 818, of course, for the Overseas Connection podcast. We're finally back behind the mics. We took a week off out of necessity, not necessarily planned, but that's okay.
Right.
These things happen. My name's Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter, and I am one of your humble hosts today. Also on the show today, Kim Woods. Kim.
Yeah, I am here. I didn't think I was going to be,
Happy
but
New
I
Year.
am here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Happy New Year to you, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And not on the show today. Robin Tate was supposed to be on the show today, but I'm just going to quote this out. Having a messy day, I am not Groot. And Groot, by the way, is our call sign for whether we're making the show or not, for those that's behind the curtains kind of stuff. But then Robin went on to say, power off, power now back on. Heating and hot water frazzled. Trying to get stuff sorted with in-house spark, which I'm not quite sure what that means.
I assume that had something to do with electricity, but I'm not sure either.
I also was thinking maybe something to do with electricity, and then also get a plumber. So in-house spark, and I mean, could that be the pilot light? Maybe he has to get the pilot light relit. Maybe that was what first came to mind. But then I was like, oh God, maybe he has some like electrical short issue.
Maybe.
So anyway, he's dealing with stuff. Thank goodness, not vomit.
Yeah. No, that was somebody else. But anyway, we'll save that for later.
Yes, we will save that for later. If you're new to the show, we do video game coverage. That's kind of our theme. Video games is the theme, that it's the glue that binds the show together, but really it's the community that binds the show together. We talk about life, we talk about games, we talk about politics now and then. We talk about sports, we talk about anything and everything. Just kind of whatever filled the week. We do it every Sunday, 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. in the West Coast, 3 p.m. in the East Coast, and 2 p.m. in Central Canadian time. I will never let that joke go, Kim. Now, this forever.
That's all right.
Yeah. And mainly, this is my failing memory because you told me where you live like 5,000 times. However, I did get wise to thinking maybe we shouldn't reveal exactly where you live because you are in a small town. So hence, Saskatchewan, Canada, wherever else we want to put you. One of these days we'll have you visit Ontario.
I'm like Carmen San Diego,
Yeah. At least you're not in Los Angeles, which is currently right now
This is
on
true.
fire.
Right.
Let's see. We do a YouTube version of this. We also are on Twitch. If you're in the Twitch chat right now, thank you for joining us live. It looks like Boomer finally made
Boomer's
it to
here.
a show.
Yep.
Happy New Year, Boomer. So glad to see you. Finally could take the time to visit our lovely little show. We have some birthdays, Kim.
We do.
You know what, Kim? I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
Oh,
You
all right.
put your spin to the birthday, and
All
you know what? I think you should sing a little birthday jingle as well.
I've done that once already. Do I have to do it again?
I'm
People don't
just
want to hear me
saying.
sing.
They might. Boomer might be itching to hear you sing live.
I doubt it.
It's like
but,
karaoke with the
yeah,
easiest
sure.
song ever.
Alrighty. Well, for birthdays this week, we have Thomas Hossinger, which is a member of my other community, Lazy Gaming. His birthday is on January 13th. And then on January 17th, we have Mike Breshler. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Da 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 da. Happy birthday to you.
That was like being at like a restaurant with an employee that's just totally uninspired but knows they have to sing a happy birthday song to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Kim.
You
now,
are
more
welcome.
importantly-
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, you're getting shit in the chat, just so you know.
I should be getting shit in the chat, especially about my stupid Chargers, fuckers. All right. We'll talk about that shortly. We're not there yet.
Sure.
Everybody slow down. Slow your roll on. Come on.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Now we can talk about the Chargers shitting the bed and being absolutely horrible in that game. Oh my God. What a tragically bad showing.
Right.
So yes, my Chargers lost yesterday disastrously to the Houston Texans. I don't even remember the final score. I want to say it was like 30-12, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was ugly. And the funny thing is, it was 10-6 at halftime.
Mhm.
So that tells you how bad the second half went. But I had an inkling we were headed in that direction because they just never were able to capitalize. I mean, Houston was doing everything they could to lose that game in the first half, and the Chargers just could not capitalize on it. Credit to Houston's defense. And I don't know, for whatever reason, the Chargers were just completely off. Herbert was off. The whole team just looked uninspired, except the defense played well for the first half. And then like the floor collapsed. Now, there are, I want to say built-in excuses, but there are some legitimate excuses to, I think, why they may have come out so flat. The
Right.
fire situation in Los Angeles is real, and unfortunately, it is affecting the teams. I'm very curious to now see how the Rams deal with it, because during this past week, they weren't being able to really hold practices normally because the smoke was so bad. I mean, I was watching players out in it felt like COVID. They're out there wearing masks on their face. I'm like, oh, this is not a good look. Then numerous players having to have their houses evacuated, that kind of thing. So it was a big distraction for anybody in Los Angeles.
Right.
And yeah, whatever, whether it was the fire, whether it was just overconfident about who they were playing. I don't know where to put the blame completely, other than just the entire team. They did not show up, especially second half. And so, yeah. Now I'm a Houston Texans fan. I will be a Baltimore Ravens fan, and depending upon, I can't be a Broncos fan.
No, God no.
I do have to draw the line somewhere. I have standards. All right. Kim, I see something about the stomach flu. Let's talk about this.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of ran through our house this week. First, I think Owen had it, and I think he was the patient X that started it. And then a few days later, my dad got it, and I cruised through the week thinking, okay, my stomach hurt a little bit, but I wasn't doing anything, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna bypass this. And then come Friday night, all hell broke loose.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it was not good. I mean, I was like in the bathroom for like an hour, just like letting things go, and
Nice.
yeah, it was not good. And
Insta
I wasn't-
diet.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, because it sucks when you've thrown everything up and there's nothing left to throw up, but you still have to throw up. Yeah.
Okay, saving grace though, Kim, right? Saving
Right.
grace, and I'm going to make you feel better about your situation in one easy fell swoop.
Okay.
At least it wasn't coming out both ends.
Well,
Because
no,
when it does
technically
that,
was.
oh, never mind.
Yeah, I just was not gonna, Yeah.
Never mind.
So yeah, you
That
know,
is
it
that
was.
is that is by far the worst scenario.
Right. Because you're sitting there and you're like, okay, you're fine. And then the
What
other
goes in the
starts and you're
toilet
like,
first?
right. You're like grabbing a trash can to hold in front of you just in case, you know. But today I'm not doing bad. My stomach still feels like it's a little turned inside out. But so far everything's managed to stay where it's supposed to. So that's
Okay.
why I'm here. Because, you know, otherwise, you know, with Robin having his issues, it had just been a one-man show. So yeah, I'm
I
here.
would have,
Hopefully
and I
tomorrow
would
will be
have owned
better.
it, Kim. I would have owned it.
Oh, I'm sure you would have.
Absolutely.
So, but I
Uh,
nuclearized it. I threw everything at it. Tums, probiotics, you know, everything. So hopefully.
All right. Well,
Yep.
we'll have more health conversation in just a second. Boomer,
Righty.
you asked if I'm safe from the fires. Absolutely. Robin, for whatever reason, always wants to make out like I live in Los Angeles. California is a very long state. If for those not familiar, if you want to just look at the map, I highly encourage you to do that. Yeah, I'm like 11 hours away from Los Angeles.
That's
Yeah.
the guy who keeps putting me next to Kansas City.
You know, Kim, come on. I'm protecting your identity, you know, your safety. I'm looking out for you.
Sure, okay.
Can't have people trolling your house as
Let's
they
hope
drive
not.
through your little town. You know,
It wouldn't be safe.
exactly. You'd shoot them. It's just like raccoons. So okay, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. So not the flu bug.
Right.
It was more of like I just want to call it like just like a chest cold kind of hit
Right.
all of my family. And so
Oh,
after
no.
we had that fabulous dinner that everybody came down for,
Right.
like the ensuing weeks, people just started dropping like flies. So my mom ends up going to ER, and she
Oh, no.
got admitted to the hospital for like a full week. My sister, so her husband is like, you know, he was really struggling. Like he got sick initially, and he really attacked it by throwing everything at it, and kind of got better.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took a really bad turn, and suddenly
Uh-oh.
he just had really bad bronchitis going on. And at one point he makes the comment of, I'm not sure, it almost feels like my face is kind of numb. And my sister's like, that's it, we're going to ER. She loads up herself, him, and his mother, who's now living with them, into the car. They go to ER, and the ER is looking at him because they were concerned about possible stroke. I think that was the initial fear, but no stroke, just really bad
That's good.
bronchitis. And as they're looking at him, they are looking at my sister, and they're like, you know what? How about you go sit in this room over here, and we'll check you out. So my sister now is being admitted into ER.
Oh no.
Then they looked at Mike's mom, and they're like, you know what? How about you come sit in this other room? So all
no.
three of them ended up getting admitted into ER to get checked for this cold. They are all out of ER and out of the hospital. They didn't have to stay. They got dismissed the same day. But needless to say, it just had run its course. The amazing thing was Cindy never got sick at all. Colin and I had gotten sick the week prior. She avoided it completely. So it makes me feel a little bit better that she never got sick. So I don't feel like we were patient zero for my sister, my mom, and my brother-in-law and his mom.
Right.
So I blame the casino on that.
There you go.
Word to the wise: if you go to a casino, you're taking your chances, right?
Right.
But so then, about a week later, after Christmas, after New Year's, I get basically my mom was being released from the hospital. And the weird thing was, we were all stuck on this side of the mountain. And I say the mountain, we're talking about the Sierras, the mountain range. And so I am a little nervous about my mom being released because she doesn't sound altogether there.
Right.
And my sisters are all in agreement. So I end up going up Friday morning. I stayed through the weekend last week. That's hence why we didn't have a show. I was not even in town. You and Robin ended up having all kinds of crap happening. So we just said, you know what, we punt. We'll take the week off. But so I drove up to Reno, And the funny thing about I left Friday morning as early as I could. It's pouring rain. And the way the weather patterns work here is if it's raining here, the storm is moving into the Sierras usually. That's usually the weather pattern. And so I'm following a storm up into the mountains. Now, my saving grace then was it was warm. It wasn't super cold. So I was like, well, maybe, just maybe, I'm not going to hit snow.
Right.
And right as I got to the peak, which is there's a ski resort called Boreal. It's kind of right at the top of where Donner Pass is. And the snow just started sticking. And it started coming down really heavy. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I beat it. And so I'm on the downward side. And then I see the chain controls they put in effect. And cars were backed up for like a couple miles. And I was just like, oh, thank God I did not get caught up in that.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then coming back, no problems. But I ended up going up and visiting with my mom, helping her just gain strength, because that was the weird thing. The hospital really did let her go where, I guess technically they were, at a point where she could be released from the hospital, but physically she was nowhere near able to. I mean, she could barely walk. So it was very concerning for me when I first showed up. But after a couple of days, she started gaining her strength back, and I realized, okay, this is just a matter of she needs to eat, just kind of get back into your routines. She had been bedbound for like over a week. That's gonna tire you out, especially 84. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get weak.
Right.
So, Boomer is a noob. Yep. There we go. Snoogan's in the chat. Oh my goodness! Talk about that's like Loch Ness sighting or a Bigfoot sighting. I don't want to give him credit for a big feet, but that's it's similar vibes. Anyway, so mom was deathly ill. Turns out she had a mild heart attack. We found that out. Oof. That was always and not to rail on the medical system a little bit more, but I'm going to. So they had reported to my sister. They're like, well, we noticed some enzymes in her blood that we want to double check on, and so we're going to run some additional tests. That was the last time we heard anything. Doctor never really gave us any full report. And then the day after I left, my sister ended up getting a hold of a nurse that came to check on my mom. And that nurse just like casually drops, well, yeah, we were noticing in the report that she had this enzyme, and I can't remember the name of it. I want to guess like tryptophan, something like that. Anyway, and she's like, which is a marker for a heart attack. The levels were low enough that we think it was a mild heart attack, but we can't, totally rule out either way. And I'm like, this would have been really good to know prior to, her being released. Anyway. So yeah. Our health system. It's great.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's one of those things. It's like, okay, our health system, it's costly, it's expensive, but at least you do get care quasi, quote unquote, immediately. Or we can go with the UK version, which is it's free for everybody, but you wait for 5 years.
Right.
So I've been talking a lot. Kim, what else? What's going on with you?
Well, as you can see behind me, my empty bookshelf is no longer empty. So I got that fixed up last week before the stomach flu hit. So I have all my uncle's, well, most of them anyway. He's got a lot of books. I got all them over there, and I put some of my own stuff over there. So it's all, better now. So I got that done. Well, Christmas came around again. My friend Jimmy, she stopped by here the other day because I hadn't seen her for a while. She finally brought my Christmas presents over. She's like, I wanted to get them over here before it was your birthday. So I'm like, all right, fine. And that was good. I got an Xbox gift card that I don't know what the denomination is because she didn't write it down and then she forgot. So it'll be a surprise whenever I enter the code into the Xbox and see how much is on there.
Surprise.
You're right. She got me some coffee cups with cats on them. Surprise. And a really nice smelling candle. She's like, I don't know if you're into these things, but I got you one anyway, which, okay, I'll take it. So that was nice.
Candle for the win.
Yeah, right. And then I remember I said the last show we were on that Boomer had got me a gift card to Amazon. And I told you I'd tell you what I got with it. And well, this is what I got with it. I got the new colors. I know, probably can't see it because
anything on that. It's just like a white screen.
Right. All right. But anyway, it's the Kindle Color Soft.
Okay.
So the new one with the color and all that. So so far it's been good. I haven't had any issues with it because I know they complained about like there was like a yellow band on it, but so far I've had it 2 weeks. So far I haven't had any issues with it. So
Okay.
yeah. So thank you,
Excellent.
Boomer, because your gift card was what helped me purchase it.
Aw.
So
What
yeah.
a nice guy.
I know. Just don't tell him
Boomer.
that too much. His head is probably gonna swell and
I know,
you know.
it is. He's not.
Yeah.
He's gonna get stuck in doorways.
I
He can't
know,
get
right?
through.
So, never hear the end of it. I don't know. Did I do calendars yet? I can't
I
remember.
don't believe so because
Oh,
we
all
haven't
right,
had
well,
the new year.
I know, right?
I'm,
So there's
I'm
only one this year because
so
well,
excited for this. I can't believe it. I'm tingling with excitement.
oh boy. Well, you're more excited about it than I am, apparently. So anyway, it's January. We still have the firefighters because I still haven't figured out anything to replace it yet. And I think, and don't quote me, I think his name is Michelle or Mitchell. I'm not sure which. It's Michell.
What,
So is that
MITCH?
No, Michell.
That's either. It's got to be Michael
Okay, well we'll go
or
with that.
Michelle. I don't want to assume his
See?
identity, but you know.
Well, either way, Michael, Michelle, we have Michael or Michelle and Cleo. So that's
Nice.
January. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay. You
Yeah,
sure?
and that's it for
You
me.
sure it's Michael and like could
Well,
he
I
be
mean,
Cleo?
Amy might be Cleo. I don't judge.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know. So anyway, that's it for me. So,
Okay.
anything else on your end?
It's quite a bit actually.
Oh,
So
all right. Carry on.
once my mom's situation became as drastic as it was, and there was real fear, my mom was not even going to be able to be capable of taking care of herself for a couple of days. Like she needed a full-time caretaker. So it was just like, oh, here we go. So that has since sparked the search for, and I'm going to use this phrase, and this is free advertising, a place for mom. And so
we'll be sponsored by that next week.
What was that?
I said we'll be sponsored by them next week.
Oh, let me tell you. You don't only know the half of it, Kim. So, the impetus here is we want to get my mom on this side of the mountain range so we don't have to
Right.
deal with snow. And so, it doesn't take me 2 hours or, my other sisters, it's literally probably a 4-hour plus drive for them to get to mom. So getting her closer is important.
Right.
And she knows that now. She's on board with it. So we have that kind of like mentality. So I began the search, looking at senior homes. And this is, yes, not only for my mom, but of course my future. No, seriously. This has been one of the most eye-opening experiences ever. So first I started off, I'm like, holy crap, you know what? A place for mom. They do these advertisements. You hear about it all the time. And I'm like,
Yep.
why not? Let me go to their
Right.
site. So I go to their site, and it's kind of interesting how they do it because really all they are is like a booking agent. So
Right.
kind of like an Expedia. They get different homes to basically do advertising through them. And then they will basically create a curated list for you of places nearby that, so whatever zip code you give them, they'll give you, a list of places that kind of meet your requirements. You can kind of give them some income requirements, if there's anything specifically you need, and then they'll do a quick search, find those places, and give you this nice little concise list. And, you open up, each link has a link to go to their sites. They have a link to book a tour. So it's very convenient. And it's like, okay, this makes searching so much easier, right?
Right.
Well, so once you do that, once you engage them to say yes, I then proceed to get multiple calls from their reps
Right.
and they're fairly helpful, but it's like, okay, well, I already talked to somebody from you guys. Oh, well, I'm going to be taking over now moving forward. It's like, oh, okay. So are we just like passing the buck to somebody else?
Right.
And then the full court press happens. So
Uh-oh.
they basically, not only do you get your curated list of places to go look and see, and you're like, okay, this is great. I've got a list to work from. they give your information to each place on that list. And let
Oh.
me tell you,
Oh no.
senior care homes, it's the most competitive landscape I've ever seen. Within minutes of me getting that email, I'm getting phone calls from each company or each home,
Right.
emails from each home, and then ensuing follow-up days, I was getting follow-up calls if I didn't answer their call the first time. And I was like, holy crap. And it was amazing how fast they jump on it. And it's like they get that lead and they're like on it within minutes. And I was just like, okay. So I've gone on 2 tours. And I call them tours of duty now because
Yeah.
so the first one was an absolute travesty.
Right.
And I say travesty because and I know I'm going off on this long tangent. We're not talking about games. I'm sorry, guys, but
It's okay.
it was really sad, Kim, because this home, I mean, as soon as I drove up, I was like, oh, hell no.
Right.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? Take the tour anyway, just so you can also see, the things you want to keep an eye out for and look out for in other homes that hopefully are going to look better than this. But this place, I kid you not, it's like you get dropped off here to die, and nobody cares.
Right.
And it's probably unfair. I'm sure they care, but the facility itself, it was dark, like everywhere. It was dingy. It smelled like cats. Well, I say cats, probably pets, just in general.
Yeah.
I noticed like in all of their offices where they, had their spaces and stuff. Oh, Mr. Matthew, cheers.
Yep.
And I agree. Even the nicest place is a little sad because you stop to think about really kind of what it means being there and the realities of it all. But this place in particular, I mean, they had all of this like just mounds of clutter of like files shoved in a corner, and then she tells me how they do, once a month we do this food giveaway. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice. And I look in this closet as we're going on our way to her office. And this closet has just boxes of shit everywhere, just like falling over, not really like, nothing stacked nicely and organized. This would be a military man's worst nightmare, Mr. Matthew. You would have had a shit fit. But I noticed like they've got boxes of food. And like, there's salad bags, and they're just sitting. They're not in the refrigerator. I'm all,
Oof. No.
I'm like, so my only hope was that maybe they just picked it up that day, and then they were going to be handing it out. But God, it was such a disaster, and it made me really sad for the people that were there, because they cannot be happy. It was just a miserable environment. So, how happy is your life right now? Second place I went to, much better, very excited. That has potential. And the bonus was it had parakeets. So as soon as you walk in, you hear nice chirping birds. Although parakeets can be annoying sometimes, but overall, they're it's nice to hear little chirping birds. So anyway, so that was that. We talked about Los Angeles being on fire.
Yes.
Health is wealth. I think we're done. I think I've talked about everything I need to talk about. All right, let's get into some game conversations, and we can tackle Mr. Matthews' question as well.
Alrighty.
What am I doing, Kim? What am I doing? I'm doing this.
I don't know. What are you doing?
Maybe I'm doing something.
All right.
I'm not doing anything, Kim. My soundboard doesn't want to work.
Great. Maybe it's your turn to sing.
It just like totally stopped working. Okay.
Yeah, because it worked before, because we checked it.
I know. Doesn't want to do anything.
Holy moly.
This is par for the course right now. Anyway, hey, story time, Kim. Let's talk about video games.
Alrighty.
Woohoo!
Yay!
All right. First, let's tackle the question that was asked.
Oh, all right.
It was asked, by the way, on the platform of the future.
It is.
Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Matthew posted something. Would you be kind enough to read that question?
Sure. He posted the question, and the question is Discord still the future? Hope our friends in LA County are getting out safely. And any gaming resolutions for the new year? Mine is to get into more multiplayer lobbies. So,
All right.
is Discord still the future?
Uh,
Depends.
yes
For
and
some
no.
people, it works great. Yeah, right. Because for some people, it works great, and then for others, it's kind of where you go to die, I guess.
I feel like it has these these waves, like an upswing,
Right.
and then it kind of goes back down, and the back down part I don't really know why.
Right.
But yeah, it just hasn't ever fully caught on,
Right.
but it's there. And the PC community seems to have embraced it in particular, so it's kind of their go-to for
Right.
chat. I mean, if they really wanted to be hip, they'd use something like Skype. I'm just saying. That's an inside joke. We still do use Skype. Yes, I know. So, gaming resolutions. I'm not a fan of these, for the record.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of resolutions in particular, just because
Yeah.
you do this at the beginning of the year as this, like, I'm making a plan, and it's my thinking is, well, the moment you think of this, you should make that your plan. It doesn't have to be New Year's. It's just
Right.
whenever you think about it.
Right.
And this really kind of more applies to like people when they're like, I'm going to start going to the gym at the beginning of the year. That's my New Year's resolution. And it's like
Right.
October. And I'm like, well, why don't
Yeah.
you get your damn ass into the gym now instead of
Right.
waiting until January? You just want to eat cookies and freaking brownies until January.
Don't we all?
But yeah, I mean, the multiplayer lobbies, more community games. I can see that. I like that
Yeah.
thought.
I do too.
I would. Okay. I'm going to make a resolution, Kim. I'm
Oh, dear.
breaking my own
Look out.
rules.
All right.
I will play Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 this year.
Yay! And hopefully we can get into some
Every
multiplayer on
time,
that.
every time I open
know.
the drawer where my controller and stuff sit, I see the box just sitting there staring up and be like, when are we going to do this, motherfucker? When? And
Right.
I'm like, yeah, not today. But it will happen. It will.
All right. I'm excited.
How
for
about
that.
yourself? Any particular resolution?
I'm kind of like you. I used to make resolutions, but I don't know. It seemed like whenever you do that, it puts more pressure on it than, like you said, just getting up and freaking doing it. So I don't really. But I'm like you. I'd like for more community things, like more multiplayer stuff. I know we've been trying it, and it's kind of some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. So yeah, I'm good with that. So
You know what's amazing?
what's that?
Halo has stood the test of time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You even got me to play Halo, and I didn't think that would ever happen.
Take that, Call of Duty. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I can get on with that. Let's see. We've got Rob. Discord is the future, but only for PC players. Not much else to use for party chat.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that throws me with Discord is I
Right.
don't, because it almost is kind of like a Reddit, and like it's got
Right.
it's like community forum threads,
Mhm.
and then it's got its party chat feature and streaming, which that all makes sense, but I have a hard time like having both those things in there. Like I don't,
Right.
I hate social media in general. The only thing I really like is Twitter, and I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really do Facebook. The only time I really do Facebook is every year when I come around for my, Extra Life.
Extra Life. Yeah.
It's sitting right on my chest.
That thing, right?
But outside of that, I'm not a big Reddit guy. In fact, I've signed up to Reddit, and I think that's the only thing I did is I signed up to Reddit, and I never go there. I never look at Reddit. And then Discord, I know we have all of these different communities within Discord, and there's a number of conversations going on, but I don't follow it at all, and I don't know. I think it's just because I don't care enough.
Ah.
That's
Yeah, it could
probably
be.
what it is.
And then, there are just so many damn options because you got WhatsApp, you've got Discord, you've
That's
got
true.
this,
Okay,
and you've got
WhatsApp.
that. and,
I do really like
know.
WhatsApp.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed because you're there more than anywhere. So,
And I think my time probably more on Twitter
Mhm.
than WhatsApp.
Right.
And that's mostly because I can throw Twitter up on my screen, and the PC Twitter app sucks, for the record.
right.
absolutely hate that thing. Its integration with your phone app and supposedly being able to sync. It's like it takes forever to load. It doesn't load all the time. It sync properly. The phone app works great, but Twitter on PC, WhatsApp on PC kind of sucks. Who else can I offend?
I don't know.
Okay.
You'll figure it out for the end of the show, I'm sure.
Without Discord voice, I'd never use it. Fair. That's see, Rob, right there. Discord voice is really the only its only use case scenario.
Well, yeah, because it is really handy, like crossplay. Like if me and Boomer are playing COD and then Sarah joins in, then we can jump on Discord and everybody can talk to each other. So that makes it handy. So
Okay, we're just gonna go off on a tangent, Kim. Get ready. We're going on the ride.
All right.
So we've got Discord, right? And
Right.
Discord is a third-party voice communication app that you can integrate with things like Steam or Xbox or PlayStation, and you have kind of cross-party chat.
Right.
Does Steam actually have any voice chat capability? I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
Which is
At least not that I've ever noticed.
Yeah. And I guess at the end of the day, and really probably why, is because Steam isn't a gaming platform per se. It's really a store.
Mm-hmm.
Though they do have the Steam Deck, operating system.
Right.
You would maybe they have to have some kind of chat. Help me out, people. Is there an actual Steam chat? Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Something like the Steam Deck.
Right.
But maybe we just have to use Discord or Battle.net or whatever, other third-party things. I think Battle.net really is the only other one that would be quote unquote popular for chatting. I don't know.
Right. Oh, there's Lord, and the show's not over yet. Hey, look
Oh
at
my
that.
good! This is truly momentous. Lord makes it before the show ends. Everybody, you might want to go buy a lottery ticket. This might be like the lucky day. Welcome to the chat, Lord. Thanks for joining.
Howdy, Lord.
We're just talking about Steam, by the way, and trying to figure out. And again, my ignorance. Steam doesn't host voice chat, so your options are in game chat or Discord. Okay, there we go.
Aha, well, that explains
Steam
that.
does not. And I wonder if that's a failure for them. I wonder if they should incorporate some. I mean, not that people want this to,
Right.
because it's like another option. But it is kind of this weird failure, and I think that's one thing about like Microsoft and Sony and their platforms. Nintendo to a very lesser degree, but they have their own, service chat systems.
Right.
That keep their communities kind of bound together and also kind of wall it off to a degree.
Right.
Let's be honest. But they do allow those chat systems to work outside of just the consoles. So it's kind of one of those things. I wonder if Steam actually created a system that could, for their own system and didn't rely on Discord, but had that. Would it make Steam even more popular than it already is? Would it actually help it transition into the console space even more? I don't know. Just talking that number. If you want the lottery numbers, give me a shout. By all means, Lord, please post them. We all could use some winning lottery numbers.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about video games. Kim, it's a short list for both of us, but both great games, or at least great games in our eyes.
Right.
So you have been you've been like mainlining like a drug addict.
I'm a
Dragon
junkie.
Age.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh God, yeah. Lots and lots of Dragon. As a matter of fact, so much of it that I have finished it, and I've now going back for a second playthrough because it's just that, or I'm just that addicted to the Lucanus. I'm not sure which. It could be both. If you've been watching my Twitter, you realize I am a love-starved hobgoblin, and I can't get enough of this man. It is what it is.
I just wanted to put
really...
my love interest up on screen just so
there you go.
We know the one with the ears.
I like her too. Just I don't like her, but she is fine. She's. And I even came around to liking Nev. So I mean,
that's
there
blasphemy.
You go. I know, but it's true. As long as she wasn't chasing Lucanus, we were fine. Anyway, it's really good. There's a lot of hate out for this game still. Some hardcore, Dragon Age fans think that it doesn't measure up to all the others, and I kind of consider myself a hardcore Dragon Age fan. Now I couldn't tell you some of the, history or whatever of it to save my life because I don't study up on it, but I have played it since the first one and I really, really liked them. And I don't necessarily see where this was so terrible. I mean, yeah, we've talked about it before. Some of the stuff they kind of smack you in the face with, and some of the writing's a little wobbly. But I mean, all in all, for me, it was a really good game. The combat was fun. Like I said, I liked my companions. Some of them I really liked. But I don't know. And the ending was really good. As a matter of fact, there are 3 different endings depending on what you want to do. So I'm gonna take my my crow rook this time, and we're gonna choose a different ending than the first time, because I took the redeeming, and no spoilers, but I did take the redeeming ending the first time around. And as much as I dislike Solus, because I didn't like Solus at the end of Inquisition because I thought he was just a jackass, because all the bad shit he did, and then he just wanted to cover it up as to say, well, he's trying to save the world. It's like, no, wait a minute, motherfucker. If one of us had pulled that shit, we'd be an asshole. So I can't stand Solus at all. And the shit he's pulled in this game, it kind of seals the deal. So on my next ending, me and Solus are gonna have it out.
Oh,
so,
you have an option to fight Solus.
Oh yeah, there's an option to kick his little dwarven ass or elfin ass, and I'm seriously considering it, or at least tricking him. I'll put it that way. Because I've seen all 3 options, and one of them ends badly for me and my little love muffin, and I don't want that. So we're not doing that one. But there is one where you. That's right. I've broken it all out for this one. Like I said, I don't know, BioWare, their romance options, they do a good job. What can I say? Right. But there is hate for that too. There are some people that don't like how his goes, and they like some of the others, and whatever. To each your own. Whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to throw some questions.
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, on the love option side of things.
Right.
I was going to say love option. I don't know what that is, but the love options. Right. You said it was very satisfying.
Yeah, it was for me. Now other people hated it, but I liked it.
Is this like satisfying, like release satisfying, or is this like satisfying in that it like gave you a nice love scene at the end of it, and you were like, okay, I'm good with this?
Yeah, no, it checked all the boxes. You don't really want me to go into all this, right?
Well, you opened Pandora's box, not me. Once you said satisfying love ending.
Well, it's compared to some of them where you flirt with them twice and then it's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. This one is different.
The chat already love muffin, really?
Well, I don't know what else you wanted to call it. I got to call him a lot worse, but we're not going there. Yeah.
So you had a
oh Christ,
a union, if you will, that satisfied you.
I was happy with it. Like I said, if you saw the Twitter, I posted it kind of up there anyway, so you saw how it went. And yeah, I mean, sorry, Boomer. But so anyway, but it was good. It was slow, but to me, it was more because you know how some of them are. If you played Mass Effect and any of the BioWare games where they had the romance option, some of them where you could flirt with a person twice, and the next thing you know, you're off humping in, I don't know, a sewer or something. I don't know. But with this one, with Laconis, it was different. You had to help this guy out, work through his... Because, I mean, he was in a freaking blood mage prison for like a year, and then he was stuck with a demon, that now he's got to deal with.
He had some issues.
Right. So, I mean, he had PTSD and stuff he had to work with. So before he even could think about, bumping uglies, you had to kind of work through that stuff. And me being the person that I am, I don't rush into things. So for me, this worked. You helped the guy out. He appreciated it. I mean, he baked me a freaking cake, for God's sake. You know what I'd do for a guy to bake me a damned cake?
Boomer, anyway. Yes, you need to have a talk with Kim. And, well, there you go, people. The key to Kim's heart, bake her a damn cake.
Cake. But no, it was really good. I liked the game. I thought it was good. I don't know where these doom and gloom people are coming from exactly. Yeah, maybe it's not as... I don't know what, the first one everybody loved it, and it seemed like it was a little, I don't know how to put it exactly. It wasn't the same as Origins, and I think that's what pissed people off. I don't know, but I enjoyed it, and there is a secret ending to it if you collect these rings, and I think it's kind of giving you a look ahead of what the next one will be. At least I hope there's a next
sorry.
one.
I thought we were still talking about the love scenes. So there's a secret
No.
ending to the love scenes.
I wish, but no. No, there's a secret ending, and I think it's kind of hinting at what will be coming next, and kind of interested in that. I don't know exactly what it means because, like I said, in the lore department of this game, there's so damn much of it. I couldn't tell you one thing from another other than what happened during the game. So, anyway,
Okay.
Veilguard, I enjoyed it.
All right. Okay. I mean,
And,
I know you have thoroughly enjoyed it. You've made that very
Right.
clear how happy you were with the certain endings.
Right.
So, do you think also some of the knock on Veilguard is that it is far more linear and not open world?
Yeah, I do. I do. And that was something else that some of them have been saying that they thought it was kind of boring, and they I don't know, like I said, they thought maybe it was kind of short. And I even did in some ways because, like I said, I'm going through on a second playthrough. I don't do that. But then that's a good thing because I enjoyed the story and everything else, the companions and whatnot. So for me, going through it all, and because there was even some of it that from the first part of the game I kind of forgot.
Okay.
So, it works for me. But yeah, there's a lot of hate for it, and it kind of disappoints me but then there was hate for some of them, for all of them. And there was always somebody that didn't like the way they did things.
And that's
So,
very true.
I mean, so there you have it. But the ending part of it, the last, I don't know, like third act or so, or third part of it, is really good. So, like I said, I enjoyed beating the shit out of elven gods. My only thing is, and you're going to call me an elven racist, back kind of to the companion part of it, there's the guy Davern who's the Grey Warden with the Griffin. I don't know if you've made it that far or not. But yeah, he's also one of the romanceable options. Of course, admittedly, they are all romanceable apparently, but I can't romance an elf. I don't know what it is, but I can't romance an elf.
So, is the chick on the screen right? She's an elf. Is it
Yes,
the ears?
she's an elf.
Is it the ears
I
that bother you?
think. I
Yeah.
kind of, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, you think the dude with the little furry, like, cat, lion, bird thing, whatever, you think I'd be all over it. But no, I don't know. I have a thing for apparently dark and brooding and screwed up. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I sorry, but yeah, I don't even want to be like an elf character. I don't know what it is. I can't do it.
Well, the ears for the elves in this this iteration of Dragon Age, I want to say they weren't as pronounced in previous.
Right.
I mean, they're like handles. They're just coming right off, and it's like, okay, it's a bit much. It may tone them down a little, but okay.
Well, I guess I know what Greg's been thinking about. Anyway, well, like the Kunari. I mean, they were always kind of on like gnarly looking, but in this, they've got like smooth skin, and it's just it's kind of weird. They don't look like the Kunari from the previous ones, and it's a little off-putting. So.
And I think part of that also might be the game engine they use because,
Right.
as you see, as you're looking through the footage we threw up there, it has, I don't want to say it's not like a cell shaded look. It has kind of a quasi cartoony look to it.
Yeah. Well, that was another bitch because they thought, well, it looks like Fortnite. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe,
okay,
but
I could see, but I see that. I mean, it's a more realistic Fortnite,
Right.
but it does have a little bit of that kind of vibe.
right.
So, okay.
So yeah, but I enjoyed it, and I hope there's another one because I'm ready to like jump right back into it again. But I hope it doesn't take 10 fucking years to do it because that's too freaking long to wait.
I
So-
don't disagree. I don't
Right.
disagree.
So anyway,
it'd be
you
nice,
know,
but I
Veilguard.
think but Kim, I think you are going to have to wait like 10 years.
probably
You'll probably be in a
unfortunately.
home with me and,
probably
put on the TV so we can play some games.
that's right.
It's a sad truth.
Okay. Oh god.
Because they're
so
making
anyway,
the next Mass Effect. That's going to be the next priority.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
I
to
know.
I know you love your
Yeah.
Dragon Age and you
I was hoping for some DLC or something, but it doesn't sound like we're gonna get any of that either.
No, they
so
said they straight up denied the DLC. They said no,
I
we're not going
know.
to do any DLC for it. So
I'm kind of disappointed in that.
it tells me they probably sold enough that they're quasi happy with the game, but they didn't sell enough that they think they need to invest in DLC. Like it's not a worthwhile proposition. So, and my guess is you kind of think about it. If you make the game and you sell 1 million copies and then you release DLC, the percentage of people that actually buy the DLC is going to be much less than the 100% of who bought it. So that whatever that margin is, that's got to be worth it to them to make the DLC. And if it's not, so I think this is probably a game that sold initially well. It's done okay, but it's not done such great numbers that they're like, oh, DLC would totally be bought.
Right. Although I'm just saying I would totally buy it. So if that makes any,
Oh,
and
there
they
you
have
go.
a Neb statue. So, if you could give me a Lucanus, that would be great.
Dear EA
just saying.
BioWare, please make DLC because Kim said she would buy it.
Totally. So anyway, now that we've all embarrassed me all because I'm apparently in love with the Pixel, how about you, Greg?
I am in love with a man named Indiana Jones. Indiana
nothing wrong
Jones: The
with
Great
that.
Circle. This game has just been an absolute delight. I've continued to play it. So I finally made it out of the Vatican. Mind you, I didn't quite want to leave the Vatican yet. There were some unfinished things I could have gone after. But I unknowingly kind of walked into this scene, which basically this is kind of right where it pulls you out of the Vatican and takes you to Gaza, and you go to Egypt. Just looking at the chat. Once you get into Egypt, the game kicks it up another notch in terms of the puzzle solving and the types of puzzles you get. Just thoroughly happy with the game. I did encounter, so I had one almost game breaking bug. So within the Egyptian setting, there's a tomb that I was exploring, and the puzzles they're again not overly hard. You just have to kind of take a moment to think it through and look around your surroundings, and you'll get kind of some hints, or it'll become obvious to you. But you can't rush through it. You might miss something. And needless to say, I'm in this one puzzle where, tomb where I'm now trying to escape.
Right.
And I have a companion with me, and I'm getting to this one area where, like, okay, I know I need to get up on this ledge, because the game, I don't want to spoil anything, but so you jump up and you can catch this ledge and you can kind of traverse around on this ledge. And I see it. I know that's what I need to do. And I'm holding a torch. And when I jump up, Indiana Jones grabs the ledge for a moment, and then he falls back off. And then he can't jump back up to the ledge at all. I'm like, what the hell? So this is very frustrating to me. I'm like walking around, and of course there's stupid scorpions on the ground that are trying to bite me, which that is like creepy.
Right.
And so I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And this entire, I'm like, I must be missing something. So I'm just banging my head against the wall. Now my companion is sitting in a completely different room, and she's just kind of waiting there. And typically speaking, when your NPC is doing that, they're waiting for something to happen before they can act. So I'm like, so she's waiting for me to do something. What the F do I need to do? So let me just transition this off so we don't have this ad. So I'm like, I don't think I'm missing anything.
Right.
So I really just didn't. Hi, Kitty. Didn't understand what was going on. Thank you for showing your ass to the camera cat. Really appreciate that.
Come on, crackhead.
There you go, everybody. You got an eyeful. Literally an eye.
Literally.
So I'm just baffled. I'm like, I do not understand what it is I am missing. And so I go back to the companion. She's still just kind of sitting there doing nothing. I'm like, fine. So I quit. It reloads my save to the last checkpoint. She's still fucking sitting there. I'm still in the same room. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, no, no, please no. So I then just said, you know what? I give up. So I go to my trusty best friend, YouTube, pulled up
Hmm.
the video of somebody completing this particular portion of this quest.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that bitch is supposed to be next to me in that other room. I'm like, why isn't she following me?
Right.
So I start the game back up. She's still is not moving, same spot.
Right.
But I noticed I could push her and she walks a few steps. I bullied this woman around the corner, down the hallway. Now there was a little a pit off to my left.
Right.
And unfortunately, a couple times when I was bullying her,
Oh,
she
God.
just moved right up to the edge of the cliff.
No, no.
And so I had to be on the other side of her to get her to go back on course. And of course, I fall off. So restart the
course.
checkpoint all over again. But I finally
Right.
got her around the corner. And as soon
Right.
as I got her around the corner, it was like the AI kicked on. And it was like, oh, yeah, we need to get up there. I'm like, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was a glitch.
It was a total glitch. But me forcing the character, the NPC down the hall,
You're abusive.
glitching
Yeah.
myself, because I mean, think about it. I was basically kind of force pushing her along the path she was supposed to be taking originally.
Right.
Anyway, needless to say, it worked out. In fact, that's the woman right there in the screen. You'll see her in a second. So she becomes kind of a companion within the Egypt component. Anyway, great puzzle solving stuff, even with the glitch. The glitch actually made it even that much better because that was like a true puzzle to have to figure out. But this game is great. You are absolutely just playing an Indiana Jones movie. I have only fired my gun once. I beat the shit out of everybody. I'm stacking Nazis in little encampments. And there's just something very satisfying about the fisticuffs in this game. The punching, it has that Indiana Jones sound, that just a big thump. And I think the other thing that I really love is the Germans speak German. All of the signage is in German. It's not, it's not sanitized for stupid Americans that can't read, a foreign language. They don't care. It's authentic. And so you don't even get the translation on the sign. So you know how sometimes you see a sign, it's in German, you're like, oh, it'll translate at the bottom. It'll be like, Northbridge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get any of that. So you have to, a lot of it is you're just kind of by deduction figuring out what that might mean or what it might lead to. And then the language component to it, I love that all of it is, it's authentic. You don't get, most of the time you're not getting translations when they're speaking German. And you can turn that on. Obviously you have the captions, so you will turn on and you'll see the captions for certain NPCs, but in some of the cutscenes, you don't get necessarily all of the German being spoken, translated. Not the Germans, Greg, the Germans. Yes. Thank you. But this is a fantastic game. Absolutely my game of the year from last year. It is, if you can play this game, you owe it to yourself to play this game. Now, I'll put the caveat out there. If you are, a shooter snob like Snoogans that doesn't like single player stories and all he wants is the shooty bang bang, probably not your game. But if you have intellect, if you, like a team not named Man City United, and just kidding, I love you, Snoogans. It's a game that makes you think. It's a game about adventuring. And again, you are Indiana Jones, and the voice acting is top notch. The visuals are all great. They do these great scenes like you're seeing right now that, just like in the movies, they have the red line on the map traversing you to the new area. If you have any affection for Indiana Jones movies, you will love this game. I'd bet money on it. So there we go. Can't say enough good things about it. Okay. Enough of the Indiana Jones love. We will not disparage Dragon Age any further.
I hope not.
I know we had love for Dragon Age.
I do. Apparently, lots of it. But anyway.
Kim, I'm just saying, you're doing this to yourself.
I know.
You've got a reputation now. So on the news front,
Yes.
let's see. Is this going to work for me? Probably not. No, fuck off.
Nope.
Okay. No, we got no sound clips suddenly. I don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you. But we do have one little tidbit of news. And that is there's a developer direct happening on January 23rd. And it will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, which is interesting because I want to say that's wrong. Oh, no. No. Okay, that's right. Take it all back. Take it all back. I cannot tell time, apparently. So 6 p.m. GMT. So they're definitely wanting this to be, accessible to everybody, which I kind of like, by the way. I like when these companies think about everybody's time zones and not just, the U.S. So they launched this out. Unlike the Game Awards. The Game Awards, came on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on my time?
Something like that, yeah.
So that's almost midnight in the UK.
Right.
It's like, come on. But anyway, so they have a series of. Actually, I might be able to pull this up and show it on screen. Hang on. Let me see if I can shrink this down and we can put it on screen for everybody. I say that, and yet. Here, this is me not being able to multitask. Okay. So this is the sign that they posted up for the Developer Direct. Sandfall Interactive. I don't know what this game is. It might have already been announced. I don't think so. This and again, Sandfall Interactive. At first, I thought Sandfall was the name of the game, but obviously it's not. That's the name of the developer. So they'll be showing off whatever the hell is that they have. If anybody knows what that is, great. They have the id thing up there, so obviously we're going to get an update on Doom. Compulsion Games, so we're going to get their game that they've been doing. That's the one set in the Louisiana swamp, and I can't remember.
Yeah,
the name
midnight something. We're terrible gamers.
I know.
Yeah.
South of Midnight.
Yep.
Anyway, but we'll be getting that update, and then they have the mystery one, which means they're going to give us an update either on a new partnership or it could be one of the games that is slated to come out this year and they're just kind of keeping it a surprise. My not conspiracy, my wild imagination is what if we got a Gears update?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. I'm down for a Gears. I'm ready for Gears to come back. So we'll find out. We'll find out on the 23rd, just a couple of weeks away. And then that was really it for news. I mean, there's a ton of speculation and rumor this and rumor that, and I'm just not going to, I'm not going to entertain any of that until we get hard, concrete facts of stuff. We know there's going to be more Xbox games going to other consoles. Which ones go, which ones don't, who knows? I'm not going to lose sleep over this at this point. It is what it is. What we do know, Kim, we do know the new release is coming.
Yeah.
So that we can definitively report on. So
well, sure.
Take it away.
Alrighty.
Without
and I'm just
music, by the
gonna.
way.
All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell us what last week's work is. I didn't bother to get rid of them. So your new releases from last week through this week are The Legend of Cyber Cowboy for the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch. That was out on the 1st of January. We have Learn to Play Volume 10. Okay. Gravity Spacewalk, PS4 and PS5, January 3rd. Maybe they're trying to teach you how to play video games. I could probably learn on that one. Anyway, Sea Fantasy for the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on January 7th. Rivenar's Grove for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch. I apparently didn't put the date down, but I'm assuming it must be last week sometime. Sleight of Hand, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and apparently PC again, on January 9th. Now for this week, we have Heroes of Hammersmith 2 for the PC, January 14th. Hyper Light Breaker for the PC, also on the 14th. Threefold Recital for the PC on the 14th. Aloft, also for the PC, on the 15th. Runny Bunny for the PS5, PS4,
Runny
Xbox.
Buddy.
Runny Bunny, yep. Don't know what that one's about, but I can guess. PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch on January 15th. The Root Trees Are Dead for the PC on January 15th. Okay, whatever. This one kind of got me because I was kind of surprised. But Donkey Kong Country Returns HD for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, right? On January 16th. So I'll probably be picking that one up because I did like Donkey Kong Country. So,
I'm curious, do we know, is that Nintendo?
well, that's what I thought. So that's why I was surprised it was coming out for everything else. So
I'll look this up while you read the next one. That's the most important game ever.
Okay. Montezuma's Revenge, otherwise known as Kim's Toilet, this past Friday. I would have agreed with you. The 4th Anniversary Edition for the PC, January 16th. Things Too Ugly, a Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on January 16th. Dynasty Warriors Origins for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, January 17th. And I think last but not least, we have Tales of Grace's F remastered for the Switch on January 17th. Those are your new releases.
Okay. Yeah, the Montezuma's Revenge, I did have to laugh a little bit about that.
I know, me too.
Obviously, I added in the Kim's Toilet, but I mean, straight up, that's that's talking about diarrhea. I mean,
right, basically, yeah, because I chuckled at it when I was putting it in the list. I'm like, yeah, I know what that's like.
So Donkey Kong Country Returns is made and produced by Nintendo. So this is very curious. I will support that. Even if I don't really like Donkey Kong games, I might just buy it again to encourage cross-platform distribution.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Anything else on this list jump out at you and be like, oh, that's, I mean, I know obviously Sea Fantasy probably sparked an interest for you.
Sure, totally. No, not really. I mean, other than Donkey Kong, that was I guess Runny Bunny, whatever that'll be about. But
again, that could fall in with Montezuma's Revenge.
I know,
Runny
right?
Bunny, Runny Bunny and Montezuma's Revenge is like Runny Bunny, Montezuma's Revenge. It just plays right out.
Other than that, no, nothing really. And let's face it, I'm balls deep in Dragon Age, and I will be there for a while. So even though I've already finished it once, so
again, you're just balls deep. Okay, all right. Yeah, probably the game I'm least excited for on here, Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Yeah.
I don't care. Okay. Where are we at, Kim?
I don't know.
We're at
Where
the
are we?
sad part of the show.
Okay.
It's the sad part because it's the end.
Oh no.
The end is nigh.
Oh well.
Wednesdays. We'll be shooting for Wednesday Halo this week again. Because let's face it, it's the test of time. Maybe Snoogans will make Snoogans is back. He's alive.
Right.
I actually had a ping of guilt. And so I reached out to him privately on WhatsApp. It was just like, hey, dude, are you actually okay? Because we haven't heard from you, seen nothing. I mean, you just disappeared. Right. And he informed me that after his transition surgery, he got a little sick. He was laid up for a while, but he is fully back and ready to put on the dress.
Well, at least one of us is, I guess.
Yeah. So when I was visiting my mom, so total sidetrack story. This is just, I was at a store and came across a person, not assuming identities here. Let me just say this. I looked at him and I said, dude, you cannot pull that dress off.
Dear.
Okay, is it worse when they don't really try and change anything, but they just have the dress and the makeup on, yet everything else is still the hairy chest, the balding head, Or is it better if they do really make the effort? I kind of lean towards making the effort, kind of at
Well,
least.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm going to stop
It's
now. I'm going
okay.
to get myself in
All right.
trouble.
We're gonna
Especially in
get
the UK, they're going to be like, "Oh, you said bad things about people. We're coming after you." I know how
Probably.
it is.
pitchforks and everything.
Yeah. What was the
Yeah.
thing that supposedly they were coming after us for? We
Oh,
were saying
God, I don't know.
disparaging things about something in the UK, and they made a
Oh.
comment about that they would come after people on social media. It's like, well, what the fuck are you going to do? Come at me, bro. Yeah. I'll take on the UK government
All
from
right.
Roseville, damn it. I'm never coming back, by the way. Sorry, all my friends in the UK. I'm now fearful of my safety. All right. Are you going to try and do any Friday gaming femme fatale?
Well,
or
I
is
can
this-
try. I mean, you know.
Don't try,
I
Kim.
don't-
Do. Come
Oh,
on.
all right.
Be better. Let's
know.
go. It's the
I
new
mean,
year.
if you ever break out Space Marines, we could do Space Marines or
That's fair.
something. But yeah,
That,
I mean,
that,
I'm you know.
that cut pretty deep. At least it took the wrapper off.
Oh my God. One step ahead of me. That's why I buy digital nowadays.
Honestly, that was my one hesitation. And it's probably why I haven't played it yet, by the way. It's because it's a freaking disc.
There you go. I know, right?
By the way, I almost thought for a second it was coming to Game Pass because there's a Warhammer game that just is up on Game Pass. They had a little
Right.
tile for it. It was like, son of a bit. And then I'm like, okay, no, it's not that one. Okay. It's the one that the co-op one they made, the first person shooter co-op one.
Right.
That's
right.
up on Game Pass.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay. Kim,
Yes.
every time we do the show, without fail, and I do
Right.
mean this seriously, without fail, we put forward an audio version of this podcast.
We do.
It'll go out likely tomorrow. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
ambitious tonight, but probably tomorrow. Let's be honest, I'm not ambitious. We have
I was gonna say
Facebook.
anything, but
You are our Facebook
do.
queen. I say that lovingly.
I try. You know.
Without you, there would be no Facebook. Literally no Facebook at all.
All right.
So we'll put out the show audio version,
Mhm.
but we want to like give some love. Put me in Coach Helldivers 2. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Helldivers 2.
Right.
Probably have to get that on a PC. I don't know if I could run it though. We'll see.
Mm.
All right. Maybe my Steam Deck. Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
Ooh. All right.
I'm pretty sure it runs on Steam Deck.
Yeah. Mr. Matthew, look at you being all smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just a stupid he's in the army. I was going to say Marine. That would be an offensive thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. Matthew. Okay. Now, Kim, say some nice things about all the people in the chat, please.
Alrighty. Yeah, we had some people show up today, and I'm sorry I had to put you through my love interest on Veilguard, but here we are. Anyway, Boomer, Snoogan, CP Matthew, and Lord, thanks for dropping in the chat, and like I said, putting up with me doing all that. And of course to you as well. Like I said, I've warned you people. It's Dragon Age, so it's my thing. So yeah, hope you all have a good week this week. Like I said, the fires are bad, and hopefully they don't get much worse. I guess I don't know how to put that exactly, but here we are. Anyway, have a good week. Hopefully nobody gets the stomach flu because been there, done that. I'll take a pass. And over to Greg. So
Okay. Well, Kim, of course, thank you for showing up.
sure.
You know, I mean, Robin was going to attempt. We have
Right.
to give him partial credit for that.
Exactly.
It just so happens that all of his house just like failed, like all
Right.
of it, all at the same time. Shout out to the chat. Obviously, we love all of our community, so
Exactly.
love seeing them in here.
Mhm.
If you're in Los Angeles, absolute heart goes out to you. Please be safe. It is insane what is going on in Los Angeles. You just don't think about like big cities catching fire like the way
Right.
it is hitting. It is I hate to use the term, but the perfect storm. That's what's going on there. They've high winds, and we're talking winds reaching at one point they were upwards of 80 miles an hour.
Holy
So they're
cow.
just insanely high. That coupled with a really, really poor forestry management. in terms of the surrounding hillsides. And, when you just let all the sticks and leaves from the trees fall and hit the ground and stay there,
Right.
it dries out, especially in Los Angeles, where they have not had rain. I think they had one rainstorm back in like November. So they are dry as a bone. You're just asking for it. And my fear at one point, although I think it really is that people were going around setting fires.
Right.
And so you have obviously some natural fires happening because embers are they are landing and starting other fires elsewhere. But then you do have these random people, and I will call them fucktards for the proper pronunciation. And they're, starting fires just randomly. And it's like, maybe we do need the death penalty brought back. Maybe we do need certain like extreme measures.
Definitely
for
ought
people
to
like
be
this.
something for something like that, because I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Be safe, please. And
Yep.
obviously, avoid the flu if you can, especially the
Right.
stomach flu, because it does
Oof.
come out both ends. It's not just coming out one way.
Not fun at all.
All right. I gotta go. That's it. We're done. Thank you, everybody. Have a
Bye,
great
everybody.
rest of your week. Let's see if this plays it. It's not going to play, Kim.
Probably not.
Stupid Stream Deck. It's not playing, Kim. Just pretend you're hearing music, people. We love you. We will talk to you later. Have a great rest of your week.
Toodles.
And I don't even have to wait for the